Hey everyone, big results week this week. We had WGP, we had BSF, a lot of them happening, all with relatively new sets as well. So a bunch of new decks coming out that people are playing with. So really excited to see what's been going on both sides of the globe. Again, big thanks to Fuzzy for getting all this sorted out right after his top in, I think, tops in New York. So good job, good job. And yeah, let's just get started because we've got a lot going on. I'm not going to go through every single list, by the way. I know a lot of these lists we've kind of already seen. But there's definitely always some kind of new innovations that I kind of click into and kind of show off. So there's that. And obviously, there's more, I won't say intimate, but, you know, if people post their lists on VG Top Decks, we will look more into it on Thursday, usually. Because they put a nice picture in a story. So, cool. Anyway, let's jump into the JP side first. So, we can see that here, really crazy. Here's the Swiss. We'll go through the Swiss rankings first. I'll try and figure out where the top, the diversity cut happens, and then we're gonna look at the top 4 results as always. So interesting with an Almagesta coming in here, and you know, Vaga here. Like in Japan, I think the big deck that everyone has been talking about is the Luad because of the Festival Collection support. And how it's kind of impacted that metagame with all the new orders, the set orders that kind of let you guard. For instance, I think they call it the hostage build colloquially because you have cards on the board that you intimidate your opponent with, I guess, that you can like guard with. So something like Luad will be able to call out a PG every turn and then guard with that, which is pretty crazy. So, but overall, I think the meta in Japan is gone back a bit more to, hey, Shunui turns out is still pretty good even after restrictions. So maybe we should kind of fit that in. But other than that, everything else has been pretty straightforward, I guess. Just if it's a good deck, you can run it, especially in the diversity cut meta. So those 4, I think, were pretty straightforward. And then I think in 7th place, this is where the diversity cut starts because you see Shamo, Daivangasai. No, actually, maybe it's 8th. Actually, it could be 8th. Yeah, Orphist. This is where, like, the double, like, there's 2 decks that haven't been featured go in. So we've seen a Leonor in 5th. And there should be a Zorga, right? Yeah, so 1 Zorga. But we definitely haven't seen Daffodils or Shamos. So maybe it's one of here, or even one of here. No. It could be 6th. Wow. Really? There's so much diversity. Yeah, I think it actually might be 6. So Varga is the one that got picked. And then Roa and Youthberg. And then what, Shunui, this is the last undefeated. So from here on, we're seeing a lot of diversity decks. Obviously seeing a bunch of weird stuff like Chronojet. Yeah, it's been probably out for a while. Then they have like Chris Rain, Alden as well. Alden. Yeah, some of these get pretty crazy. And you know, Tamiyura is okay. We see this pop up quite a bit. MLB and I guess Chaos. Chaos is pretty diverse. Right, moving into the compilation of everything, you know, Vaga is obviously one of the biggest decks taken, then Shunui, and then Razael, and then after that, the top 4, we had first place was the Shunui, Ava, and Luad. So it seems like a pretty strong lineup, right? And then for second place, we have the Roa, Youthberg, and Vaga. We have a Chaos in 3rd, and the Almagesta came 4th. I guess this is kind of interesting because Ava has like a pretty bad matchup against the new Luad build apparently, so that might be a pretty good diversity pick now if people are moving away from it, with the big picks being like Luad and Shunui. So pretty crazy. And then let's take a look at some of these results. There's definitely some interesting lists here that we haven't really seen, right? So first off is that Luad list. So this one is the hostage build that everyone has been talking about. So we've got the Luads. More first account at 4. So this one's quite surprising because a lot of these builds lower their first accounts because they use a bit more CB than normal. And then running just 1 Liao to be able to put things back. So you can put back your owls and then everything you guard with, you can put back into the deck. You don't get the PG off, but you ideally get enough advantage from guarding that you can kind of afford to put back things. So there's that. This is pretty much standard host. No draws, though. I know a lot of these decks usually run quite a bit more draws, but they've gone crits and fronts. And then we have the Ava build. So this is the one very similar to DF. I think DF plays the same build because they worked on the same list. But yeah, more obfuscate, like 4/4 obfuscates, only 1 secondal. Yeah, usually, you know, I think a lot of people say, "Whoa, no elemental sanctitude." It's because the PG can be searched by the order, so there's that. And then the other deck was the Shiranui deck, and this one has a restrict where you can't run the Shuridoji and the Dragon Empire OT, so Drag Vader. So ride line's back to normal. Still running the dragon, so I actually rate this dragon quite high. And then comboing with the energy cycler as well. So this is a good combination. I like this combination. And they're running the new Dragon Empire Dual Nation card with Dark State. So this will generate you soul, which is very, very important. And then also gets power when you play it. So 15k slamming in on turn 2 is pretty good. But then later on, it still has utility as well, because you can counterblast one of core things, or you can call a grade 2 out from your soul. So if you've soul charged any of your restanders, you can at least have this to get something back and do the restand too. So overall, I think it's pretty strong. I think this is a pretty strong card and good to see it. And then you have the Dark OT being able to kind of just make an extra attack, but also get like any restand out of it here that maybe you have to be able to, like, I guess just works. And then just, you don't really need crits, I guess, in Shiranui, because you just output so many attacks later on that running this is just fine. It's just fine. So pretty cool, pretty cool. And the next one we look at is this Royal List. So this Royal List also running another Dual Nation card. So this one is Stoike and Dragon Empire. Just able to make tokens, which is pretty good, right? That's what Roa wants. And the rest of the list is just pretty straightforward Roa-wise thing. We've got the full Roa light line, got light OT, right? Light OT. I guess no borrowed mushrooms, since this maybe takes that slot, but I think you have another PR here as well. So this pops into the new Roller, right? So yeah, so we've got all the PRs there. So yeah, no mushrooms this time. Do you really not need it? I think mushrooms pretty good, right? And then next we have is Youthberg. So Youthberg's undergone a few changes. You have to run 4 more cards, but now you have things like the new running 1 copy of the Countercharger, so which is pretty good. Like, I think when I'm trying to think of current Youthberg for the English meta, I always try to include a Countercharger, because I know people try to lock you, damage deny you and stuff to make your turns a bit worse. At least your early turns, which are the most important ones. This one can kind of just deny that. And also running the new Festival Collection Grade 1 to kind of get back cards. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I like. I think this should work pretty well with this, right? So you discard it and search, and then you can Energy Blast and put it back. So you solve your problem, yeah? So cool. I like. And then the last one was the Almagester as well. So I think, did Almagester finally become good? Finally getting a broken support, and then like Biff runs in set 2, and then a billion PRs made it finally good, which is, I mean, it's good to see, right? It's a waste of art that we don't get to see like this cool like Almagester stuff. Yeah, we saw this one, like, man, this deck sucks, but now it's playable. So good to see. Next we have is B block. So the 2 blocks in Japan, right? Well, WGP, and the second one is also pretty interesting. A lot of decks that we see the same though, right? Luard, Shiranui, Vaga as well. Those were all high performing decks, let's say. It's interesting, but we haven't seen that many Blank to Me, right? I think there's all this Blank to Me hate that came out is really dropped the deck quite hard. Even the Zorga as well. I thought we'd see more Zorga, but Vaga just taken home. Oh, I think I skipped something. And then yeah, I think maybe is 6th place again where the cut was, because I see a Prism. Is there an Ava? Yeah, no Ava's in like above it. And is there a Welstra? There's got to be a Welstra, right? No Welstras. So yeah, cut seems to be at 6th this time. Diversity cut. This is where it starts. And then you see things like the Chris Rain. Yeah. I'll guarantee you this Chris Rain was only there because of the new support in set 2, where it got like the new 10k beater and the one that bounces back. So we can probably not worry too much about it for now. Mushiking, Welsh. Okay, this is where you'll see the problem with it. Diversity cut. Welstra, highly popular deck, I think. Didn't make it in undefeated, so it's just gonna flood every single diversity slot, I reckon. So you see immediately 3 Welstras come out, and then we're gonna see more. Another one here. Razai out. Mephonica still been played. Cool. We've got a Arc and Seal. Yeah, got Willistar. And then we're going to see more. Yeah, another Welstra. So quite way more Welstras than you'd expect in the top 16, right? Really skews the results. And we see there's been like 2 prisons, right? And then Raziel, Ava, yeah, pretty crazy. And then looking at the compiled results, you can see, whoa, there's a lot of Welsher this time in Block B. I wonder why. Same with Zorga, Varga. Well, Varga and Zorga aren't the same, actually. They're just very popular decks. And yeah, this one's a bit more kind of, how do you say it? Not... Is it even? Even? I think that's the wrong way to say it. Yeah, you get what I mean. And then the winners here were actually a Luad, Prison, and Varga. So big ups, right? See Prison, you're like, ooh, well, for me at least. And then second place we have the Varga, Reziel, and Ava. And then this one is super meta, right? The Shiro Luad, and then Luad Nui with the Varga. And then this one's Mygo. So Mygo pretty cool, the Shunui and the Chaos. And take a look at some of these decks. I think most of these decks we've kind of seen a bit more already. This one, the Luad. This Luad build is actually kind of interesting. So it's running the nuns, so the hostage tech. But it feels like this deck is not trying to play the long game at all, right? So for this one is your form of Festival. We saw the previous one, and then four of the Solemn Dragon, I guess is what you call it. So Regulus Peace Counter. So we can kind of compare it with the other Luad build, yeah? So this one's not running Dark OT, just running Crit OT. And just kind of compare. No Liel for the long game, but a lot more of the Solemn Dragon. Which is pretty... I think the foundation is fine, right? What are you going with this deck? Let's build a normal Luad deck, but run the nuns, which are fine. Like, they're cool. The nuns are good. But we can still run a normal Luad deck and then just push out for game. So, I think that's okay. And the counter charge is just like there. What was he running for this one? Oh, they got the ladder to counter the Shunuis. But yeah, this one just allows draws a counter charge. So overall, I don't mind this list at all. I don't mind this list, right? It's like 2 ideas. One is less aggro, and the other one is more aggro, but still running the good stuff. Because the nun overall is just good, right? If you call one, it's already great. She's an extra shield. It's all fine and dandy. So yeah, pretty cool. The next one is a prison list. So this one is not running any of the Taser Ages, which is interesting. It's got the new Sanctitude for grade 4s, but no Taser Age. Only 3 Muna as well. But yeah, pretty nice. Got one of the counter chargers of Verbal Mine. So I guess build soul counters. I guess it's cool. Right, I guess it's cool. And then we have the Varga. So this Varga actually running something pretty interesting. I just randomly clicked into it and saw something weird. We have this new PR. Is it a Triceratops? It's a dinosaur with guns. This one's quite cool, is that, so if any of the players' rear guards get retired during a turn, you can Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. So again, one easy energy outlet. And then the second effect is that when it attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, you can Soul Blast 1 and it gets 10k. And then at the end of the turn, it gets retired. But, you know, it's going to get retired anyway because of Varga. That's just how it is. So I guess it's like pretty interesting tech. It allows you to rush quicker or like just make bigger columns, because one of the biggest problems of Varga is that your opponent stays on 3 or lower damage. They go, you want to use Divine Skill this turn? No Divine. I'm just gonna guard, bro. I'm just gonna guard. You can't use Divine Skill, right? And sure, you know, your Boulder X Dragon's cool. He's 15k. You boost it with an 8k. Like, yeah, 23. I'll just hit my mic. But is that enough? Sometimes it's not. Under Persona Right, it's 33. It's like, it's a 2-card guard. But then if I guard and I stay low, you can't do your shit, right? You can't do it. So that's one of the biggest problems. But with this, if you can push more damage, right? Like 38, that's like 215Ks. That could be pretty good, right? That could be pretty good. If you have a bigger booster as well, I think it's pretty nice. So yeah, it lets you go long in a way. So, you know, more draws just equal more cards in hand, so you can live longer, right? You can live longer. So you can eventually use the Divine Skill, yeah? So overall, I think it's a pretty interesting inclusion. I want to see maybe more Vargas, if they will include something like this. That's one of the biggest problems I have with Varga. But if this solves that, then that's cool. And they're still running the Energy Cyclers. A lot of energy outlet, but you have to remember how many times are you going to use her skill, right? It's sure is okay. You do bounce one back, but they all kind of accomplish the same things. They allow you to have a... I guess sure is always a nice plus, because you will be able to bounce back something that, you know, retires itself, but then again, she dies. You're not going to be CBing one for every single time, even though you have more counterblasts now. So, pretty cool. I like to see these kind of small innovations. They always kind of work out pretty nice, but it remains to be seen. What else will we see, right? And then we have another Rezael. I just kind of want to click on the Rezael and see what's been going on. I feel like this has been kind of overshadowed by a bunch of the Luad decks, but this guy went full in. He went, yo, TF builds, let's go in the good old Keta triangle style, and then, yeah, the rest of it was just kind of pretty standard. Kind of what you'd expect from Rezael right now. And then just the 1-1 nuns. So, nice. Next we have is from China, so they're playing in the same meta as Japan, with the same ban list and all that. Shiranui, this one's singles though. Shiranui really taking it home this time. 3 Shiranui's, 1 Luad, 1 Rezael, training tools and all that. Their winner was actually the Rezael. So we have that in first place. Then the Vaga. All the Shiranuis looks like they just died, right? Mr. Triple X here, right? It's obviously the Vin Diesel movie, right? This guy is Vin Diesel. And then is it Kuiper Corp? Yeah, I don't know. Top of the list, we'll just quickly take a look. So the Rezael, pretty standard Rezael list, right? You see the Keta pile, that's that. So nice. And then the second place was the Vaga list. We don't see we see this grade 2 instead. 100% sure on that, but otherwise, seems like a slightly more. Is it not really a defensive? I guess you have 2 of the Carbuncles and 1 of the Restand Power Gainer. Okay, so cool. And then over here, third place, you have the Zorga Nadia. So this one's just power deck. It's been doing really, really strong. And then fourth place, we do have the training tools. Which one is it? So I think it's just Tachi. Is it Tachi training tools? I'm guessing. So cool. Next here is just the New York. So into New York, SGG Messiah haters. They really hate Messiah, right? We got the Tri-Reg. This is a pretty meta lineup, right? You're pretty much always taking these are these guys, but I'm pretty sure we've seen maybe this team do. You see the hamsters, you're like, okay. Luad's a pretty good. Luad or Shiranui, I guess, are pretty good slots for the standard lineup, and then yeah, Night Rose. I think a lot of people are saying is the best deck, right? Is the best deck or one of the best decks in premium right now. But then you look at people like KC who took Redora. All right, they're like, I don't like those Night Rose decks. Bring that one. And then McNuggy's taking Murakumo, yeah. And, Highlander here as well. So, my go. And then in Standard, I thought there'd be a bit more Shiranui Luads, but we see Shiranui Luad. These two teams know what's up. Twice, though, they won the tournament. They just felt like we just want to play a Vaga, right? Just screw Luad. We don't want to play that. And then for Muka Radio, they're taking in Rezael instead of just Luad and then Mygo as well. So everyone jumping on the Mygo train pretty quickly. Onto the list. So first off, we have that Vaga list. So this is English Vaga. This came first place. So this is the twice one. They ran Shenris. 2 Shenris in the build. I guess they really want that soul. 6 cyclers. I think I like the double cycler builds. Maybe not 4-4, but like 4 something. I think I do like a bit. So yeah, big ups here. But overall, pretty nice. And then the Rezael list in English that people have been hyping up. People have been hyping up Rezael quite a lot, even though I feel like Luad this is like Luad light, But I guess you can just run both, right? You can run like Shiranui, Luad, Rezael. Yeah, what a lineup. But yeah, pretty much got the Keta pile. This is pretty much the same as like the next, this Divine Set 2 Rezael. Maybe 1 or 2 card changes, but that's it. But yeah, this is pretty much what we've been seeing in Japan quite a bit. So nice. And then onto this Gridora list. So Tri-Reg. So yeah, so it's not really Gridora, isn't it? Well, like it's gonna be Gridora, but your main grade 3 is not really Gridora. It's just you got the 2 Dark Face, and well, this is like 3 Dark Face, right? That's kind of it. Yeah, it's kind of it. It's just Gridora. I mean, Mega Cloning. I say Mega Cloning. It's just what it is. Counter the meta, right? So quite surprising. This hasn't been really popular this season at all. And then next is just the Murakumo list. So this Murakumo list is quite surprising. You just don't really expect it, right? That's just it. You don't really expect it. Running a lot of the Shurikis, I'm guessing it's just similar to make a big turn, drop a bunch of Shurikis, make a bunch of, you know, attacks that your opponent has to guard, but then if they guard, you do more attacks kind of thing and gain a bunch of power and trigger a bunch of effects. So, yeah, I guess it's that. I'm guessing it's that. But just Murakumo. Cool, cool. And then in Belgium as well, so their Tri-Reg had some weird stuff. So, sure, like Crest Nui, you know, Katrina, pretty crazy. But then you get Narukami. Narukami definitely not a popular pick, as well as maybe Leopold, right? Leopold, able to beat all the Gurgits though. And then the Steam Maiden, yeah, that's the Tri format. They all took Luad and Shunui, but except for one team, and one team, and they brought Mophonica, but technically not a terrible pick, right? Technically not a terrible pick, knowing that every single standard slot it's gonna be one of two decks, right? And then their standard, they had more Mophonica than expected. But look at some of this lineup, right? Shunui Luad, yeah, with the Mophonica. Then Shunui Raziel with a Mophonica. So maybe they just don't like playing Luad, so you take a Raziel, yeah. And then this one was the more hype team, right? Raziel, Zorga, and Shamo. And then here we have Nakama, which took Shunui, Raziel, and the Vargas. So I'm guessing, I just feel like a lot of these Raziel decks can be changed with Luads, like interchanged. It's kind of more of a personal feeling, but most of their deck is kind of the same anyway with how English players are playing it. Just that Keta pile plus a few other stuff there too. Let's look at some of the decks. So the Mophonica list. So this is honestly Mophonica list. Pretty straightforward. Put a bunch of Mophonica stuff, but might as well feature it. I do like how Mophonica can kind of... I know Migro can run Evergreen as well, but Mophonica feels like it needs slightly less soul than Migro. Because Migro technically doesn't use that much soul, or that doesn't gain that much soul, I mean. So I do like being able to just feed an Evergreen. So pretty cool. And then the Zorga list. So this Zorga list is just pretty much Zorga masks. Yeah, the mask is... I was like, oh, where's the mask? Yeah, Zorga mask. Yeah, we've seen it quite a few times. So pretty cool. And then here is the Narukami Premium list. So this one is it's still Sweep Command with Vanquisher. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people tried moving to the reverse, the Vowing reverse builds, but it just feels like it's lacking something. So I still like the Sweep Command, even though you can't run the Demolition Dragon. It sucks. Right? It feels bad, but I just feel Sweep is better. It's just better. So nice to see Narukami doing something again. And then lastly, we have that Steam Maiden list, but it's just Gear Chronicle, honestly. You know, Chronojet, just Steam Maiden, doing the good old Chronojet thing. If you ride up with Chronojet, you can ride down again. If you're into Steam Maiden, just stride and just kind of Slishma, and then just do all the multi attacks. I guess it's like less time leap than what you'd expect. It's just straight up Steam Maiden. I know some of these builds have moved more towards time leap at some points, but yeah, we don't see the Melons, we don't see the multiple TikToks. So I guess less like super long multi attacks maybe, right? Just you have to expend like CB for it to do the rising play, if that's how you call it. Yeah, so cool. And then Malaysia had some lists too, but I think Malaysia was pretty. Look how meta this is. 3 Shunui Luads in these standard lists, like Team Jijila. Yeah, look at this 3. And then, you know, I think this is like ultra sweat team, right? Shunui Luad, Maigo, and then Yeehaw, right? Taking like the double Luad, like Luad, Shunui, and Luad Light, right? And Outlaws taking in Shunui, Luad Light, right, and then a Varga. So I think these teams are pretty crazy, pretty darn strong. And then we have the Tri-Reg, and then everyone's going. I'm guessing, I'm assuming it's all Crest Nui, and then since they gave all the crests to all the grade 1s to the Nui player, they're all Luad, right? Luad, look at that. And then Gurgit is of course correct. And then we have the Katrina and Riviere, right? Riviere, and then just quickly. Jumping into this Riviere list, it is just the good high roll, get a bunch of resist, do a bunch of damage Riviere list that I guess is pretty good against some of these, like, you know, Shunui decks, can't dominate and all that. Just blast them out of existence. Yeah. And then just a quick look at last week. I did miss one because the results for this came late. This is Myanmar. and they've got some pretty weird stuff going on, right? But of course, Myanmar is a bit of a smaller region, and a bit more of a closed meta, right? Just because of the situation going on there. But their tri-reg, they had like things like you know, Dyliner, Gabriel, right? Spike Bud is actually probably one of the most normal ones, in the Night Rose as well. Even Maelstrom, Hyrule Maelstrom. Hey, let's go, right? Let's go. Luwad, Shernui, you know, Claudine, right? Claudine. And then for standard, hey, look at this. This is pretty crazy. So this is the meta list, right? Okay, Vasto Lord. This is like Bleach reference, right? So Shernui, Luwad, Luwad Light. Then Triple H. Look at this. Shernui, but then we got Pacifica and Granfia. So unexpected. Even a Lascari here in third place too. And then Claudine again, Claudine Greedon and all that. Take a quick look at these lists, right? So first off, we have the Pacifica list. I'm not gonna make jokes on the Pacifica. They're getting pretty old, to be fair. But yeah, Pacifica definitely not the Bermuda I'd take from this set. You know, I'm a big Prism fan, but yeah, Pacifica doing well. I think it's quite unexpected. Then we have this one definitely is unexpected, Granfia, but you know, got the mushrooms. Mushrooms are cool. Let's all make it work. I think at least with all the Stoic Care players I've seen with these lists in Myanmar, they got it right. They picked the correct stuff. You have the, look at this orange ring, dude. Look how cool this guy. They've picked the fruits, okay? They've picked the fruits. This is, even though it's Granfia support, but yeah, you got to at least include, like, look at this pumpkin, dude. Yo, they even pick good crit trigger. They got the fat cat, all right? Fat cat. We just need the chili crit, right? Just missing the chili crit, but I'm sure we'll see it. There it is, chili crit right there with the Lascaria. So pretty nice, pretty nice. And then we have is all ride line. Oh, running actually a different grade 1 though, right? Okay, okay. And then we got the Dyliner premium. So okay, okay. And then it's just you just dimension police things, right? Dimension police things. Running one of the recent. Normally you run like the this is the count. I think this is a restand laurel. Normally people are on the counterblast 1, right? So to get the double the power in the crit and then just go really crazy mode there. So okay. I think this one, yeah, this one had the BCS harmonics and this goes big bling, right? Big bling. And then we had so this is actually a Gabriel deck, right? When I saw this, I was like, is this Angel Gize again, right? But it's actually Gabriel with OT. I think new premium play though, I think, because this isn't running a full G zone, but if you have 4x of this and 4 G guards, you can play premium. Even without them, you can play premium, but you can at least, if you have your main stride and your main G Guardian, you can give premium a go and don't feel too bad. Yep. And then lastly, we have just the Spike Brothers. Spike Brothers is actually a pretty straightforward list, right? This is a normal premium deck, but this has just been the combo that's been happening forever. Your Nova, your Rising Nova, get those Force 3, right? Double Force markers and pop off and just kind of go face. Yeah. And then now you have the new what was it, the Dudley? Is that not Dudley? No, it's Galley Gabalus, right? This one just to push a stride turn like way higher. So all in all, pretty nice. But yeah, that is all the list. This is a crazy crazy amount of results, right? Obviously couldn't go through all of them, but hopefully you could have seen all the deck logs as well in just everywhere, right? Everywhere. So if you want to go check them out, make sure to put them in the correct deck log. Japan deck log, right? There's a Japan deck log. There's also an English deck log, but the English deck log has the Asian stuff in there as well. So yeah, a lot of different deck logs to go through. That is it. Thanks to Fuzzy. All right, everyone. Thanks to Fuzzy for compiling the results. If you have results, make sure to send them to Fuzzy. And thank you all for watching, right? See you all next time. All right, bye.